What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine back with another video. Welcome to the Pristine review for the Samsung Galaxy A70. Y'all know the order of business. Let's jump right in. So first off, price and specs. $364.95 is what it is on Amazon. Again, link is in the description. With tax, I paid $401.45. And I know some people have just been like, man, Pristine, you got ripped off. You know, because some people have been like, they found this phone for like $320. You know what I mean? Or maybe, a little bit less than that. Either way, I'll put the link down in the description as to what I got for it. If you find it cheaper, great, because it's a great value. But the price in which I bought it at also is too a really good price considering everything that you're getting. All right. Specifications, you're getting a 6.7 inch 1080 by 2400 pixel Super AMOLED display, 20.9 aspect ratio. All right. Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and the back of this bad boy. You're getting a Snapdragon 675 with 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of onboard storage that can be expanded up to a terabyte. We've got an octa-core CPU, Adreno 612 GPU, Android 9 Pie running over One UI. All right. Now, the build quality, as I just mentioned, Corning Gorilla Glass 3. This phone, even though it is plastic on the back, it's Glastic. Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, plastic on the back. It feels very, very premium. I mean, there's nothing that feels cheap or inexpensive about this phone. This phone has the looks and feel of a flagship 2019 device. Okay, definitely, with that teardrop notch, full screen display, 20.9 aspect ratio. I mean, we're definitely, following the trend here as to what smartphones are looking like nowadays. And so again, I mean, this is just another testament that you can go ahead and cop yourself something real nice as far as a phone and have a very feature-rich product in your hand and not break the bank and spend a whole bunch of money. You know what I mean? And so I love what Samsung has done with the A70 here. My man Jay Will was right. He was like, yo, if Samsung released this in the States, they'd be hurting their business and they probably wouldn't sell too many S-line phones. The S10, S10 Plus, S10e. Which, speaking of the S10e, there's a deal going on in that, but I'll talk about that a little later on in the video. But yeah, I mean, they would literally hurt themselves by releasing this in the States, because this product is a very, very good product. So, build quality, I mean, like I said, I mean, some people may be like, oh, well, the plastic on the back, whatever. Nice curved edges. So even though this is a big phone, again, 6.7 inches, the phone is very thin. And it doesn't feel... It feels smaller than what it is. And I know a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's not a lot of girth with the phone. I mean, it's not a very wide phone. It has a slim, slender design. Again, I've got very tiny hands and I can easily manage and wield this device with no problems at all whatsoever. So, I mean, the build quality and the overall cosmetics of the device, in my personal opinion, is an absolute go. I mean, you would think that 6.7 inches, you would think that it's, man, that's a mammoth of a phone, and you would think that it's going to be heavy and cumbersome. It's not. The phone is actually a featherweight. Now, I mean, you know that you're holding something, but I mean, it's not one of those phones that's going to weigh you down or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's got a good build to it. It feels good in the hands. Ladies, you know what I mean? Shout out to my man Flossie, you know what I mean? But yeah, it has a really good feel and build quality. I gotta give the build quality a thumbs up. But again, you want to protect your investments. I mean, so screen protector, it already comes pre-installed on the device. Surprisingly, the phone does come with a protective bumper case, and it's a clear case, but it's got a little bit of a tint to it. You know what I mean? Which looks pretty dope to protect your device fresh out of the box. But there is a bunch of third-party cases that you can order on Amazon and eBay and all that kind of stuff. I mean, so if you're not feeling what Samsung included in the box, then you can go ahead and order yourself something else and give your phone a different look. Now, performance, like I said, Snapdragon 675 processor, 6 gigs of RAM. This phone is a performance beast. No lag, no stuttering at all whatsoever. The only time that I've noticed a little bit of a hiccup is when I was scrolling through Bixby And it was like right when you scroll to Bixby, and then you start to scroll a little bit while it's still loading all the content that's under Bixby. But I mean, aside from that, but then, once all the content is loaded up, you see everything is just a buttery smooth transition as far as scrolling is concerned. I mean, so, performance is not a problem on this device at all whatsoever. Now I'm connected to my Wi-Fi, just opened up the Bible app right there. You know what I mean? Data speeds are going to be different if you're linked up with your 4G LTE connection. Yeah, I'm just going to open up some of the most content heavy applications that I can get my hands on. You can see this is Spotify, and it just pops right into Spotify with no problems at all whatsoever. We'll take the SoundCloud real quick. Same thing with SoundCloud. Again, these are really big music file applications. And so sometimes, it may take the phone a little bit, to get all that data and that information to present there in front of me. But as you saw, the A70 just handled it with no problems at all whatsoever. And so, again, RAM management, Android 9 Pie, pop right back into Spotify. Okay, pop right back into the Bible. Let's see, pop right back into SoundCloud. No reloading. I mean, multitasking, gaming on this phone, breeze. No problems at all whatsoever. So from a performance standpoint, thumbs up. This phone is a performance beast, in my personal opinion. Like I said, I haven't had any issues, no hiccups, no stutters, no nothing. All right, now the cameras. Now, on the front of this phone, we've got a 32 megapixel sensor. On the rear, we've got a triple camera system. We've got another 32 megapixel primary, an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. So we don't have a telephoto lens on this phone, but is that a big deal to me? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? 2-time optical zoom is cool, but for the average consumer who just wants to point and shoot, you have the ability to do that, and you are going to capture some stunning photos with this phone. But again, you do have all the bells and whistles that you would find on the S10, S10 Plus, S10e. It's all feature packed here in the Galaxy A70. Okay, so the same camera functions and features. We've got a super steady shot mode that was just updated to the phone with an update that came. So I think I read, if I'm not mistaken, that the S10 and the S10 Plus were the only ones that had that super steady mode. Well, through an update that just recently came, now the A70 also has that super steady mode, and it's only for the rear camera. Okay, it's not for the front facing camera, but I mean, like I said, we've got pro mode. We've got 4K recording at 30 frames per second with the rear camera, and just all the features and functions that you can want in a phone in 2019. Okay, in spite the fact that this is considered a mid-range device. Link down low is in the description for the dedicated camera video that I've done. If you haven't watched that, click that link in the description box and check that video out, and let me know down in the comments what you think about the overall camera quality for the A70 as well. All right, now battery life. We've got a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. I gotta say, to me, the battery life on this phone is kind of sketchy. You know what I mean? It's kind of questionable. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way, because I am very easily able to get through a full day, but with a big 4,500 milliamp hour cell and the fact that I am a very light to moderate user, like I haven't used this phone any differently from all my other phones that I use, and surprisingly, the battery seems to drain a lot quicker, which is very surprising to me considering that it's got a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And I've gone in the settings and made sure that all the stuff is turned off that needs to be turned off: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, auto sync, all those things. I only turn those things on if I'm using those services. But I mean, aside from that, the phone it's got, the capability to be able to manage apps running in the background, to kind of kill those apps, to also stop from draining battery in the background. But for whatever reason, this battery just seems to drain much faster than you would think it would with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. Now, it's not one of those things where it's like you feel like you got to put it on the charger every night to charge it up. that's going to be based on how you use your phone. I mean, so if you're heavy gaming or heavy content watching, downloading movies and all that kind of thing, then yeah, you're going to run through the battery. But I mean, me, talking on the phone, texting more so than anything. Every now and again, if I'm not at home or near my tablet or my computers where I need to check my email, I go under my email and I manually, sync my email, so I can, get the email that I'm looking for, and then I'm out of the app. I mean, so I'm not doing anything just as far as my day-to-day usage. I'm not doing anything to really kill off this battery, but it just seems to drain a bit faster than what one would think it would based on how I use my phone with a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. So, I'm not sure if that's something that is a defect, with my unit. I can't say that everybody that has this phone is experiencing the same thing, but like if you look at my my Xiaomi Mi 9T, and if you look at that green bar at the top, that green bar at the top is the battery life. Okay, when I put the phone to sleep, always on display, that's 67%. You see that right there, 67%. I took this phone off the charger this morning at about, I leave my house at 6 a.m. to get to work by 7, so I give myself an hour. I took this off the charger at like 5:50, so 10 minutes before I had to leave home. I went to work. I worked 12-hour shifts, ladies and gentlemen. I worked from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And, I've made some phone calls, text messaging all throughout the day. On my hour lunch break, a full hour of watching nothing but YouTube, First Take, watching Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman go back and forth about football and all these trade acquisitions in basketball and some MMA stuff, some phone videos, new phones that are going to be coming out. You know what I mean? Same stuff that I do with all my phones. And you see, I've got 67% of battery life left over after all that, which to me is crazy battery life. And my Mi 9T has a smaller battery than the 4,500 milliamp hour battery that is in the Galaxy A70. But it has much better battery management. And I don't use my Mi 9T any differently than how I use my A70. So that to me is a mystery. So again, like I said, I'm not sure if there's something that's going on with my A70 that is causing it to do that. If there is a problem, I'm sure that Samsung will address it with an update. But again, there hasn't been one time where I wasn't able to get through a full day. I was definitely able to get through a full day, but I'm talking about like if I would have taken this phone with me to work today, at the end of my workday, using it the same way that I've just explained that I use my Xiaomi today, I'd only have maybe like 40% left. You know what I mean? And so you would think that since this has the bigger battery than the Mi 9T, that I would essentially still have maybe 70, 75%, considering that my Mi 9T is at 67%. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's very strange to me, but that's my battery experience with the A70. Again, it's not one of those things where I have to charge it all the time, but I do like, in the mornings, especially on my work days, I do like to put my phone in the charger and top up to make sure that I'm at 100% in the morning before I head to work. I'm not one of those kind of guys that likes to take a charger with me or a charging brick. I want to know that my phone is going to be able to have that sustainability and that staying power to get me through a full day, a full 12-hour shift, and still have some change left over for me to do what I got to do without feeling like I have to walk around with a separate accessory or a charger. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I would have to do that more so quicker with the A70 than my Xiaomi Mi 9T, considering that the Mi 9T has a smaller battery. I believe it's at 4,100 milliamps. So that's very interesting to me. But, battery life overall, I got to say, I mean, it's solid. Like I said, it will definitely get you through a full day. Now, additional features, I mean, we've got the under the display fingerprint sensor. We've got always on display, double tap. Well, that was the facial recognition right there. Double tap, let me get out of the way. I've noticed that since the update came through, I feel like the fingerprint sensor has got a little bit slower, or it's not as quick to recognize my thumbprint. And so again, I'm not sure if Anybody else that has the A70 is also experiencing that as well. I mean, it's not really a big deal because of the fact that the facial recognition for the phone is lightning quick. And I'm behind the camera, but let's display that again. Double tap. Boom. So as soon as my face gets in range, it opens up very quickly. Okay, you can see the camera right there, the little animation around the front-facing camera scanning for my face. And so it's never a problem, you know, getting into the device. It's very fast. But nonetheless, I mean, I have noticed that the fingerprint sensor, seemingly after the update came through about a week and a half ago or something like that, it seems to have gotten a little bit slower. It just seems like it's not as responsive as it once was before I got the update. And so again, I don't know if that's something that, you know, sometimes we get these updates and it's to help better the phone, and I'm all for that. But then in some scenarios, when you update the device, a service or a function or a feature that you already had and you were enjoying, you know, the update may do something to it where it may not work as well as it once did. And so again, I'm sure, you know, if that is in fact the issue, I'm confident that Samsung will push another update to fix that. But, you know, I got to keep it real with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it's bad, but I just noticed that it seems to have gotten a tad bit slower after I received that update. But the saving grace is the face unlock. You know what I mean? Which is lightning quick, and it works 100% of the time, every time. I mean, so security and getting into my phone is not a problem. Again, having that steady shot feature under the camera, that super steady shot, pays major dividends, especially when you're recording video. So I like the fact that that has now been implemented into the device. You know, the dark mode. And all you do is just simply turn on night mode, or just hit the button there and it turns everything white again. And you hit night mode, everything is black. I mean, that's not really a new feature. I mean, you find that on the S10, the S10 Plus, and also the S10e. So that's not really anything new, but I like that feature. You know what I mean? I just like how easy it is to access. You don't have to go under all the settings and under display settings and all that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of that. Now, another thing that I really like about the phone, and I haven't really played too much about it, but I wasn't really too sure about what it was, is, where's it at? Bixby Routines. And what Bixby Routines is you can set and customize this phone to do a lot of different things without you even touching it. Now, if a lot of other phones has this same feature, I'm not really hip to it because I don't really mess with it too much. But I know that, you know, the phone, you know, Bixby is Samsung's baby, and they're promoting it hard. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Samsung, they foresee Bixby being possibly as big as Google as far as like a search engine and, you know, just the phone's way to navigate and voice interaction and all that kind of thing. I mean, so, you know, Bixby's not that bad. I know that people slam it, but I mean, it's useful to me. You know what I mean? And so I don't have an issue with it, but it's like you can set this phone, like say like in the morning when you wake up at a certain time. Say if you're pretty systematic like myself and you wake up around the same time every morning, and one of the first things that you do is grab your phone and you check to see what the weather's going to be like, just so you can figure out, okay, you know, what am I going to wear today? Or, you know, where am I going to go? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, some people let, you know, the weather kind of dictate, you know what I'm saying, the moves they make. You can set this phone at a certain time to give you a weather pop-up. You know what I mean? Or, you know, good morning. Get your phone ready to go in the morning. Or work. Automatically set up your phone for the work day. So like if you want to get to work and say you get to work at 7 a.m. every morning and you want your phone to go in silent mode and you also want it to connect to Wi-Fi so that you're not using your data, or maybe where you work, depending on where you work, you don't have data and you're not going to get your phone calls or your text messages, but you got Wi-Fi calling and you want to connect to Wi-Fi. You don't have to do that manually. You can set the phone at 7 p.m. when you're walking in your place of employment to go in silent mode. You know what I mean? Wi-Fi is going to turn on. It's going to connect to the Wi-Fi. I mean, home. optimize your phone for when you're at home. You know what I mean? If you want to, say, after 9:30, 10 o'clock, you don't really want to be bothered with calls and messages. You can set the phone to go on Do Not Disturb at 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Or 9:30 at night, and you're on chill mode. You know what I'm saying? I mean, before bed. I mean, if you want the screen to go into like that blue light filter so that it's a little easier on the eyes at night, so that the screen isn't that bright, you can set the screen brightness. You can set that up so that maybe, say, if you're going to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, you start to wind down around 9:30, then you can set it to where the phone is going to go, you know what I'm saying, in the blue light filter mode, or just that power saving mode, or reading mode, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, and help kind of help your eyes adjust to the dim lighting, and as you start to drift off the bed. I mean, or just other things. I mean, it's tons of stuff. I mean, save battery at night, driving, going to work, heading home, school, charging, meeting, workout, auto rotate, open apps. I mean, at certain times you can set this phone to open certain applications. If it's something that you do consistently, it's like the phone is going to do it for you. I mean, so Bixby Routines is hella dope in that particular regard, and I'm surprised that I never really messed with it much on my S10 Plus or my S10e, which I have sold. But nonetheless, I mean, Bixby Routines is a really, really, really dope feature, and you can really customize this phone to do just about anything that you want it to do at whatever times that you want it to do it, without you even have to touch the thing. It's just one setup, and you turn that feature on or off whenever you want those features to be enabled or disabled, and that's what it is. I mean, so Bixby Routine, I find to be a very, very helpful feature for a lot of different people. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely something that I want to get more into, so that I can, so that I can benefit from it as I go throughout my day when I'm rocking my phone here, my A70. Another thing that I like, the fact that there is no dedicated Bixby button, but you can set the power key, which is right here on the right side of the device, to be the Bixby button. You can set this button to double tap it twice, and it will enable Bixby. And then it will prompt you if you want to either turn your phone off or reboot your device. It'll prompt you on other buttons in which you can push on the device to turn off or reboot your phone. That's pretty dope, as opposed to just having an actual dedicated Bixby button that's on the left of the phone, which is going to give you a lot of accidental presses. Although on the other, the S10, the S10 Plus, or the S10e, we do have the ability to turn that button off, but it's not remappable. You know what I mean? And it's like with this, at least you've got the option to either keep it as the power button, or you can choose to have it to be a dedicated Bixby button if that's what you want to do. Me, I mean, I don't really see the need for that, because you just swipe hard to the right and there's Bixby right there. You know what I mean? So those are just some of the key features that really stand out in my mind. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that this phone is packing. I don't want to keep you guys all night talking about these things, but my final thoughts for the Samsung A70: buy it. Okay, I've come to the decision, and I know that this is going to be hard for me because I'm such a fan of tech innovation. And ladies and gentlemen, I started out with nothing but flagship phones. I mean, like I said, I've been a mobile phone tech geek forever, and I'm surprised that I didn't start this YouTube channel years ago. But I've always had 2 or 3 phones. It was always the best LG, the flagship Samsung, and whatever the latest iPhone was. And so it's like, when you're used to having nothing but flagship devices and paying nothing but those premium prices, and then over time, you start to see these mid-rangers and these budget devices get so good to a point to where it's like, there's no reason to go out and spend $800 to $1,000 on a phone, unless for one, it's something that you want and you can afford. Hell, people that can't even really afford to pay those prices are paying them. And especially now, you got carriers where you can put phones on installments and stuff like that, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get it how you get it. But I've been challenging a lot of people in my videos, and I ask you guys again, how many of you that have a flagship phone that paid the premium price, how many of you are actually using every feature, function, or power that processor, cameras, or whatever that phone has in store? How many of you guys are actually using every single last one of those features and functions as to why that phone was so expensive? Seriously, I mean, just sit back and think about it. You know what I mean? I'm all about practical spending and trying to get the best product for the least amount of money. You know what I mean? And so it's like, to me, like I said, I just recently sold my S10 Plus. The A70 here, I am not missing that S10 Plus at all, one bit. Why? Because most of all the features and functions that are on that S10 Plus are here on the Samsung A70. What the A70 doesn't have, it doesn't have the curved glass on the right and left side of the phone. Okay? It doesn't have the edge, you know, for, you know, the Samsung Edge options. I don't care about that. It doesn't have Corning Gorilla Glass 5 or 6 on the back, and so you don't have wireless charging. I don't care about that. But this phone actually does come with a 25-watt charger. So even though it's a big 4,500 milliamp hour cell in the phone, you still, if you still can top up very quickly. Very quickly. 25-watt charger comes in the box. This phone charges up extremely fast. And so if in fact you do need to carry a charger with you, most phones are coming with anywhere with between a 15 or an 18-watt charger in the box. This has a 25-watt charger in the box. So there's your remedy for wireless charging if that's something that you guys are salivating at the mouth over. You know what I mean? But it doesn't have wireless charging. It doesn't have the curved glass. It doesn't have dual stereo speakers. And it doesn't have a telephoto lens. But again, ask yourself, I paid $400 for this altogether. Is the S10 Plus $600 better than this phone? Absolutely not. Get yourself one of these, ladies and gentlemen. If you're thinking about getting an S10 or an S10 Plus to save yourself $500 or $600. I'm just saying, and I know that, you know, the Note 10 and the Note 10 Pro is getting ready to drop it, so I've been seeing a lot of crazy deals for the S10 and the S10 Plus. Oh, now the S10e. I'm a huge fan of the S10e. And I think that still to this day, that's the best smaller smartphone that you can get your hands on as far as a smaller flagship. Now, I know that my man Jay Will earlier this week posted a tweet on Twitter just talking about, you know, Best Buy and how people are, you know, misleading people, because there's a lot of people out there saying that Best Buy has the cheapest prices on phones. But what people aren't realizing is, yes, Best Buy, they got some crazy deals on a lot of unlocked phones or carrier phones. But what people aren't explaining is that these are prices that you can only get these phones with activation. And Best Buy does business with Sprint, Verizon, and AT&T. They don't do business with T-Mobile for whatever reason. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, and I'm not sure exactly how long this sale is going to be going on, you can get an unlocked GSM and CDMA unlocked Samsung Galaxy S10e, which full retail for that price for that phone is $749.99. You can get it on sale right now at Best Buy for $349.99 with activation. With activation. Now, I'm going to jump all over that deal. So I'm going to be sending my A70 back. Like I said, I don't have any manufacturer sponsorship, ladies and gentlemen. All these phones that you see on my channel, I buy with my hard-earned money. And I'm blessed with the ability to do that, which is why I give all praise and glory to the good Lord. Okay? But like I just mentioned earlier in this video, I am always looking to get the best product for the cheapest price. Now, to me, is the A70 a better phone than the S10e? No. Because the S10e, although it's the smaller of the S10 lineup, it's still a flagship phone. It's very small and durable, and I like the size of it. It's got the Snapdragon 855 processor with 6 gigs of RAM. It's got better cameras than the A70. It's got wireless charging. I'm a huge fan of the fingerprint sensor being on the side of the phone, and it is lightning quick, ladies and gentlemen, so you're not going to run into some of the issues that you may run into with this under the display fingerprint sensor here on the A70. And it's, you know, did I mention it's got dual stereo speakers? I mean, and I like the design. I mean, you see a lot of phones now, they got that teardrop notch. I like that little hole punch at the top right of the corner of the S10e. You know what I mean? So I'm going to send my A70 back because I only need one Samsung phone. You know what I mean? I'm going to send back my A70 only to take advantage of the fact that the $400 that I spent on my A70 here is going to get used to buy a brand new fully unlocked S10e for $350. All I got to do is start a line at Verizon, which I've already got several lines with Verizon. And so Verizon, they have your bring your own device program. It's just a part of you know what Verizon does. And I'm gonna share a little secret with you. If you want to beat the system, if you don't really have any interest in starting service with Verizon or any one of these carriers, you can go in, start up the service, add a line or whatever you got to do to take advantage of the $350 price tag for the S10e right now. You're paying the $350 plus the taxes out the door. You're not on an installment plan or anything like that. So you paid your money. The phone is yours. Okay? The very next day, you call Verizon or Sprint or AT&T, whoever you set up that line with to take advantage of that $350 price tag and cancel that line. And they're going to do it because there's no phone with an installment plan that's attached to that line. It's just going to show to the carrier you started the line and you tell them, hey, I thought I needed the line when I started it. I don't need it. Please cancel out that line. They're going to cancel the line upgrade fees or whatever charges that are associated with starting that line, so it's not going to affect your bill at all whatsoever. And you got yourself a shiny new S10e for $350 when that phone normally retails for $750. That's deals right there. That's what I'm gonna do. But aside from that, if that deal didn't exist, I am completely content with my Galaxy A70 here. But again, like I just said, I'm always trying to get the best for the least amount of money. You know what I mean? And if I had to choose between the A70 or the S10e, it would be the S10e all day, a day, because it's got all the flagship specifications and everything. You know what I mean? So again, like I said, I'm not sure exactly how much longer that deal is going to be going on. It's at Best Buy, but you heard it from Pristine Mobile Tech that's currently what's popping right now at Best Buy with the S10e. That is a hell of a deal. That is a hell of a deal. I just told you how to do it. So don't come back with no, oh man, I missed the deal because I wasn't too sure. Man, start the line or add a line, whatever you got to do. Pay the $350 plus the taxes. You got yourself a brand new S10e, fully unlocked, GSM and CDMA. Call the carrier that you set that line up with the very next day and cancel that line. And you're done. You know what I mean? You're done. That's it. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for the full Pristine review for the Samsung Galaxy A70. This phone is the truth. It's a must get if you're looking for a new Samsung device. If you're not able to take advantage of that deal with the S10e, and I think once it goes off for sale, I believe that phone is still being sold at $550. You know what I mean? So that's a hell of a deal for everything that the S10e is offering. But why pay $550 when you can get it for $350? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just trying to put you guys up on game right now as to what's happening. All right, but again, you know, if you're not interested in that, you want a bigger phone, you want a faster charger, bigger battery here, you know what I mean? You do have some advantages with the A70 over the S10e if you didn't want to take advantage of that deal. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? My opinion, I just feel like the E is a better phone overall than the A70 here. Not saying that the A70 is bad, but again, I paid $400 for this. I can get a flagship for $350. Come on, man. Who wouldn't jump on that? Get this phone, man, if you're looking for a new Samsung device. Link is down below in the description. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share the video if you know of anybody that's interested in this phone, that wants some information about it. They're kind of on the fence about whether or not they should pull the trigger and buy it. Share this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've got coming like this one, and to expose yourself to the vast array of videos like this that I've already done. Be sure to hit that notification bell because I've got so much more content to come, so that whenever my videos do go live, You can get that notification that Pristine Tech just dropped something. And man, watch the video. You know what I'm saying? And get down in the comment section and let me know what you think about what you saw. Hit me with any questions, comments, feedback. The comment section is where I'll be chilling at, and that's where I'll be responding to questions, comments, and feedback. Much love to my subscriber base. Man, I see you guys out there. You know, man, pushing the channel hard. I appreciate the love and all the support, the feedback. Everybody that's hating and criticizing and got negative things to say, man, all that stuff does is just fuel me to keep this thing rolling. It's going to succeed no matter what you guys got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? Because God is the head, and he's the one that provides. He's the one he's the reason why I'm able to do all this stuff, man, which is why I witness at the end of every single one of my videos. And speaking of witnessing, it's about that time. So, ladies and gentlemen, you already know. Again, thank you for tuning in to the full Pristine review for the Samsung Galaxy A70. All right? You guys already know. Until the next video, please stay safe, because these streets is way too wicked. Get spiritually fit, because this world is way too corrupt and wicked to not be spiritually fit, saved, and sanctified. If you don't have Christ in your life, man, he's always willing to start over and meet you exactly where you are, right here, right now, no matter what you got going on in your life. If you just trust him and believe in him, he will come into your life. He will pick you up and turn you around and place your feet on solid ground, no matter what. All you got to do is trust and believe that, and keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.